Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Bright Side of Beauty podcast presented by Beyond Skin Aesthetics. Today, we are going to be talking about all things wellness. It's one of my favorite topics. It's something that is so important to us at Beyond Skin Aesthetics. And I have two very familiar faces that honestly need no introduction whatsoever. You're going to recognize them if you are part of our Beyond Skin Aesthetics family. So welcome back to the podcast, Katie, and to the podcast for the first time, Alicia, our nurse practitioner.
Thank you.
So happy to be here.
So happy to have you guys here for a little girl sesh of just going through some of our favorite things.
All the favorite things.
Yeah, this is something that, we go on tangents about.
Yes.
We are so passionate about wellness, and the thing for us is really the internal approach to external beauty. We say it all the time in office. Mm-hmm. People probably are wondering, what does that even mean? So I'd love to dive into that, but that is really like, when you think of an aesthetics practice, typically you aren't thinking of wellness. And I love that the industry is shifting away from just the focus on that external beauty to what is maybe the cause of some of our concerns.
Yeah, getting to the root cause.
Yeah, or how do we live better? The goal is to live better, not just to look good doing it. And it's when you know better, you do better. And that's kind of our mentality with things.
Live better, look gooder.
Look gooder.
Yeah.
live better, look better.
Yeah.
I
like that.
We're all about strong men and women and friends everywhere.
Yes, absolutely.
I love it. So let's go back to that internal approach to external beauty and really dive into that for those that don't know what that means or have never heard us talk about that before. We have several ways of explaining it, but I feel like the general way of looking at it is we like to start on the inside and then work our way out to the outside. Do y'all have a certain way that you like to explain it to your patients when they're like, I don't know what that means, or where can I start? I just want Botox. Yeah. Alicia, you want to take that one away as our master injector?
Yes, thanks. So I think it's just that more youthful approach at a cellular level. That's where we start, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like creating a stable, healthy environment on the inside so that our beauty can resonate on the outside. Because if we don't feel well, even if we look good, at the end of the day, we all want to say, I felt really great today. And, interlocking those two things, it's truly a marriage. But what we want to show on the outside, we really have to start diving deep on the inside.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
We want our patient experience to be amazing, but at the same time, it's like fully comprehensive, like a deep dive. Mm-hmm. When you come in, I want to know all the things. Like I may sit and talk to you about, what your diet habits are, what your exercise habits are, and you're coming in for an aesthetics consultation. So yeah, that is how we do things in such a well-rounded way that I want to know all the things about you.
Yeah, absolutely. If somebody comes in and they feel puffy or they feel like their face may be more sunken in, you're not just automatically going to, okay, well, I have Sculptra that can help you.
Exactly.
Or we can contour your face with Juvederm. But
those are Band-Aids,
you're breaking down, like, we have those things for the immediate result, but let's get to the root of it so that you feel better going throughout your day as well. My friend Alex said on actually our podcast a couple of weeks ago, an Audrey Hepburn quote, and it's the happiest girls are the prettiest girls, and that's how I feel. Like the happiest girls are typically girls that are paying attention to what's going on, whether that's their daily habits, their mental, emotional, physical health. It's just like all of the things play together, and then that's what we see when like you see somebody that has that light walking down the street. You just know that they are focusing on all the right things. And
when you feel good inside, it truly resonates on the outside.
Yeah.
And that's why we do the whole internal approach to external beauty. So we like to tackle things, like you said, from the comprehensive side, where you come in and yes, you might get a treatment that day, but then you're probably going to leave with something topically that is also going to help enhance what's going on the outside externally. But then we also might create that individualized plan with supplements or, sometimes bioidentical hormones, whatever is going to help them on the inside. And so we like that three-pronged approach of let's do your treatment, let's do your at-home care, and then let's make those insides better.
Girl, that's overwhelming. How do you break that down? Like how do you start that conversation so that it's not overwhelming? Because I know the way that you just said it sounds like, oh my gosh, I just need 3 more balls to throw up in the air with regular life, but it's really not that scary. So how can we get started on that in our daily lives?
So really, we look at everything that you, when you come in, we want that full history, and we want to see what skincare are you currently using? What supplements, if you are you already taking? Are you taking the right ones? A lot of people right now are taking vitamin C's. Not all vitamin C's are created equal, topically and internally. So we know that some vitamin C's break down your collagen and elastin. Mm-hmm. We don't want that. So we want you to use a great vitamin C on the outside, but then we also want you to take just as good of vitamin C internally. So we're going to look at, if you're taking a vitamin C right now internally, let's move you over to a liposomal vitamin C so that it's truly going to get in at that cellular level and do what it needs to do and help build up your immunity, which is why you're taking the vitamin C. So it does almost seem overwhelming at first, but we really want to break it down, and we don't want to be overwhelming for anybody. So we do create that customized care plan for you. We break it down month by month.
That helps.
Let's do this today. When you come in next month, then we're going to add this. We're going to reassess the month after that, and we are going to see how you are feeling and then readdress things from there.
Yeah.
At that point in time, we will do a procedure each time that you come in, see how you're feeling. We had a patient come in the other day, and she's our functional medicine patient, and she said, I feel so good. And she's only 3 months into it. And she said, everyone has said to me, I can tell you feel good, because we have been able to calm down that internal inflammation, which is showing on the outside as well. And just because she feels better on the inside, it's now showing on the outside.
And it might not be a literal skip in your step, but it could actually be.
It wasn't.
There's
because she
just...
hugged you.
Yes, she had to. Yeah, it really is. But it's the way that you carry yourself. It might be your shoulders a little bit farther back, or you're not as tight in your position, just moving around throughout the world. You're looking people in the eye because you're not feeling that headache or whatever it may be. Like it's a visible thing when you're feeling it internally.
Absolutely.
1,000,000%. I love that you said that we break it down month by month too, because routine is everything. Habit stacking is everything. That is, if there are 2 things to take from exactly what you just said, it's to basically habit stack it. So, for example, in the morning, you're making your coffee. Maybe that's when you take your supplements, because as we get into how to use some of our favorites later on in this conversation, sometimes you're holding that in your mouth for 30 to 90 seconds, and that's a great time to do that as you're moving around.
Yep.
Or if you're brushing your teeth, that could be a time to plan out something else in your day. And the same way as we rely on our calendars, so moving on to that second part of what you said, having that plan for a 6 to 12 month period, it's the same way as if you have a daily task list and you're trying to remember it in your head, it can be so overwhelming. But if you make that list of, okay, these are the things that I have to do today, and this is what time frame I think it's going to take, it seems so much more achievable. So having that written out and in time frame too, so it's not like I have to make all these changes today.
Yeah.
But I can slowly start to implement this, or I can budget it out, because wellness can be expensive too. So figuring out how to make that feasible from a financial and from a actual implementation standpoint, it just makes it so much easier. You know what's coming, you know what you've already done, you know what to keep going with and what that time frame should look like. It makes it so simple.
It's so great. And, if you, skincare and supplements, I like to compare them, and they're very similar as well. If you aren't washing your face every single day, we're not going to send you home with a 10-step skincare routine.
Yeah.
If you aren't taking any supplements, you're not going to leave with 10 supplements.
Right.
We're going to set you up with a cleanser, probably a moisturizer, and a sunscreen. And then we're going to send you home with 1 supplement.
Yep. Exactly. Well, it's kind of like if you start a 10-step skincare routine out of nowhere and you have all these active ingredients, chances are your skin is going to absolutely freak out. If you start to take 10 supplements overnight, even if they are supposed to be good for you, your body is going to just be so thrown into a tailspin. Like it is going to be, you're going to be stuck in the bathroom one way or another. It is just not going to be good.
You're not going to want to comply with what you're doing.
And not only that, but internally, the things that are going internally comes out through our skin. So you might have that breakout that just comes out because guess what? As you detox your body, it's got to come out somehow. And it's going to come out a direction, and it might not be top or bottom. It could be through the skin.
Absolutely.
Let's be real.
It could be all three.
It could be all three at once.
Always.
But you have to tiptoe into that and make it feasible so that our goal isn't just to have 1 year of excellence. And I'll kind of refer back to, I just got married last year, and getting ready for the wedding, that year leading up to the wedding, I learned a lot of amazing things. Well, I don't want to leave all that stuff just because I walked down the aisle. Suddenly, I'm not going to the gym anymore. I'm not eating the same way. Like, I don't want to just throw that all out the window. I want to continue that because I felt so good preparing my body and I put so much work into it. That is the point. It's to keep it long going. These are lifelong skills that we are building on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's all the good stuff.
And there's fluidity to that plan. It doesn't always have to be like set in stone. We can decide together as we flow through how we want to change it, add things to it, and like Katie said, even take away from it sometimes. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. And depending on where we're at in our lives too, could determine what we're using and what we're doing. So that's, I mean, as your hormones are changing, as your lifestyle is changing, you got to reevaluate all the time with all of those changes. As where you live changes, I mean, if you're moving, you could be in a different environment and you never know what toxins are around you. We are just so heavy loaded all the time.
Well, and it's very rainy today, so who knows what it's going to be like tomorrow. So we live in Ohio. Yeah. It changes every single day.
It's snowing in 2 days.
It's going to be, yes. Let's not even go there.
Oh my gosh. I just need summer all the time. I need vitamin D in all aspects of it. I need the sun. I need my actual vitamin D. I just...
Get vitamin D from mushrooms.
Mushrooms, yes. You learn that fun fact?
Dang mushrooms. What's your mushroom fact?
So everyone should eat, on average, 3 pounds of mushrooms in 1 week. And crazy, right? And vitamin D, mushrooms are a phenomenal natural source of vitamin D.
Okay, how does one do that though? Like, what does that implementation look like?
I think Katie and I spent 15 minutes just trying to figure out how to do that. Like, you could have
like
a portobello mushroom. Those are the heaviest. Like, honestly, trying to figure out how we could fit this in. And we're like, I just don't think we can. But any mushroom is better than no mushroom, right?
Yep.
So when you can incorporate them, it's an amazing idea. Put them on your pizza, put them in your salad. But the 3 pound rule, that's a little excessive.
That's a lot.
We can start somewhere.
It's a little excessive.
I know, a little.
Baby steps. We're taking baby steps into it.
But it just was a fun fact that we thought was interesting. We did discuss that for quite some time.
That's a really good one.
Right?
I'm gonna lock that in someday when I go on Jeopardy.
Eat
I'm
those
gonna
mushrooms.
be able to say that.
You'll have that fact.
Yeah, that's gonna come out on a game show one day
Yeah.
for sure. So supplementation, you had mentioned liposomal vitamin C previously. So that is a big description for a vitamin C and very confusing. I mean, supplements in general it's important to know where you're sourcing from, what the quality is because of where you're sourcing it from.
Absolutely.
How your body's absorbing it, all of the things. So the way I love also going back to you comparing supplements to skincare, I love that because basically supplements are the skincare for the inside of your body.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Like that's your internal skincare.
Yeah. People are like, what do you take? I said, you don't want to know.
No.
Because I take one of everything.
Which is so much growth.
Yes.
What was it, 4 years ago? It was like pulling teeth to get you to start a probiotic because you just like didn't do any supplementation whatsoever.
No.
And to see that grow, like you are our queen of all things health and wellness at this point. Like you walk us through everything.
All the things.
So crazy. So how do you find a good sourced vitamin of any sort? Like, where's a good place to start? Because everybody's going to go to Amazon, but we know that's not consistent of a source. So what should we be looking for in our supplementation? Like, break it down for us.
So I think at a basic level, quality control and sourcing is
Huge.
so important because, there's not FDA regulation on these things. Like you said, you can get them from Amazon. You can get them from anywhere. So you need to find a company that has transparency through the way they manufacture, through their distribution, through how they, even come up with these ideas, complete transparency. And then you establish trust in that brand, and then you start to use that brand. Yeah. And I think that being consistent like that is key, but really the transparency piece. Like, you have to know all the things. There can't be things that you just don't know about what you're putting inside your body because there's so much uncertainty.
Yeah. When I learned about the, oh my gosh, I call it like a jelly coating, but like the gelatin coated like capsules.
Yeah.
Mind blowing. Like that gives the ick. Like that is the ick. Of you think that you're doing something good and then you just have this gelatin that you are trying to digest and break down, and then by the time that you break down the gelatin, it's already passing all the way through. You're not getting any of the nutrients.
Yeah, I mean,
pointless.
You're getting what, maybe 10% of it, if that. And you have to have a healthy GI tract, and if it's not healthy, then you're absorbing it, and then you're just filtering it. It's a whole
thing.
Yeah.
But if it's not inside of a gelatin coating like that, if it's not inside of like that sort of capsule, you have these giant horse pills that taste awful because you're tasting the vitamin as it's going down, and then you have the aftertaste all day long.
Yes.
Like that's disgusting. But there's more options out there that are being developed.
There are so many different options. So I am not great at eating breakfast in the morning. So therefore, that's why I'm not great at taking supplements. Because I would take them, then it would upset my stomach. So there's different forms of delivery. So there's patches. So Pro Patch has phenomenal patches of multivitamins and Sculpt Patch, Renew Patch. So collagen renewal, your multivitamin. One helps with appetite suppression and energy. So your body absorbs about 60% of that just from applying a patch every single day.
And they're just like stickers that you can put anywhere.
Anywhere.
They can go anywhere. Like, you can go on your arm. They can go on, like, your chest, your back, your leg.
Yep. So
anywhere.
So mainly, ideally on your trunk, so on your abdomen or somewhere on your back or shoulder.
Okay.
But forearm is great, your upper arm, your thigh, anywhere where it's not going to rub. Whenever I put it on my thigh, I do notice it comes off a little bit. So it doesn't go there often, but it'll go there maybe once a month or something.
That makes sense. I want to say Mama Kim Poor puts it on her abdomen, but like above her, like her
That's where I do.
belt line.
Yeah. Yep.
Of like where your pants would rub when you sit down.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I can never find the right spot where it sticks all day.
I like my upper forearm, not by my wrist. I like it right here. Yeah.
When you're
I
washing
love
your
that.
hands all day long.
Yes.
Yeah.
a problem.
And you said there's 3 types.
There's 3 types.
There's the Sculpt.
You have the Sculpt, you have Vitry, which is your multivitamin, and then you have the Renew, which you actually wear at night because that's when your skin cells are renewing and turning over. So that's going to help with hair growth as well as collagen and elastin production.
I love that. All available on shopbeyondskinesthetics.com. There's our plug.
Yep.
Okay. Anyways, so you have a patch version.
You have a patch version, and then you have the liposomal delivery system.
Which is what Quicksilver does. What we're talking about.
Yes. Which is Quicksilver. So
what is the liposomal delivery system? Did I say that right?
Liposomal. Yeah. You can say it
Liposomal.
either way. I don't think there's really a wrong way.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
going to always say it this way because I don't know how to say what you just said.
Liposomal.
Yeah.
Say
And
liposomal.
disclaimer, guys, if you need color matching for color science, I'm your girl when it comes to talking about the
Yes.
science breakdown of everything. I understand it. I definitely apply a lot of these tools, but these are experts that can break it all down. So we are going to be picking their brains together, and I'm going to be learning right alongside you as we go.
Yes.
So liposomal delivery system.
Yes.
What is it? What's
So,
that mean?
Think of high efficacy and pristine chemistry. So something that Quicksilver represents.
Small words that
Just
we're
little
using here.
things, right? But
Just
truly what it is. So
pristine.
we went to listen to the talk just this past weekend. All the chemistry that was involved, really mind-blowing. It can be very overwhelming. but
Truly
once you-
mind-blowing.
Yeah, once you break it down and you're like, okay, this is brought to me in a way I can understand. So think about most vitamins, nutrients, supplements are delivered via a water-based delivery system, like a pill you would take, or just something, a vitamin you would take in the morning. So by the time it travels all the way down to your small intestine, to the end of your small intestine, to where those nutrients are absorbed, right? Not much is left. You are left with not very much, maybe 20%, if that. And that's if you don't have any inflammation, GI issues, or anything else going on. You may get that 20%. So with the liposomal delivery system, it's so exciting because think about it as a bubble wrap for the nutrient. Right?
Ooh.
That's just how it's a good way to think of it, right? So if you want to send a really special gift to someone, you wrap it in bubble wrap so it gets there in a beautiful package. So the way these are delivered into the cell is a special encasing system, the liposomal delivery system, and it takes the nutrients directly into the cell. So as it travels down, it bypasses the stripping of all the things that happens on the way, and it's delivered into the center or the nucleus of the cell. Then it opens up. You can pop all those little bubbles, providing all of the things that we need to absorb. And I think that's something that's been around, but not a lot of people know about, that the delivery system is what's most important.
No, I love the way that you just explained that.
That was amazing.
Because we all love popping bubble wrap.
Yeah,
so
who
that
doesn't
makes so
love that?
much
So,
sense.
and once it gets in there, pop, 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 and then it can be released to where we can absorb it better.
Well, and what I love is how it's, so you mentioned it goes into your mouth and you hold it in your mouth for 30 to 90 seconds. Or while you're driving to work, which isn't necessary, but that's what I do.
That's crazy.
With your hair cap on at the same time. Because we are talking wellness. We have to have that component to it. Maybe we'll touch on that later.
It's absorbed through your circulatory system. So on average, your circulatory system is 60 kilometers long.
What?
It's very
That's
long.
a lot.
It is, yeah.
So you have to think these are being delivered everywhere, to every little minute millimeter inside of your body.
Every single cell.
Yes.
We are all cells. We are our cells. Every part of us. Yeah.
So
That's insane.
and what I love is I can actually take these on an empty stomach. They prefer that you take it on an empty stomach. So therefore, you don't get any stomach upset when you take them or when you take 10 of them at the same time. It's really great.
We're building upon it, though.
Yes.
Building up to the 10.
Building up to that.
And why is it that it's better on an empty stomach? Is there, I'm assuming there's probably a reason why. Do you know what the reason why is?
Again, just the absorption issue. So it does pass through the stomach before heading to the small intestine.
Less to fight through.
Yep, less to fight through. And that's an easy way. Less bile, less stuff in there, if you will, to just strip down what's on the outside of that.
Yeah.
So empty stomach is always going to be best, including medications. The same concept with your medications, that you would want to take them on an empty stomach.
But I feel like we're all taught take it with food so that it doesn't upset your stomach. But
Yeah.
It's the opposite, actually, right?
We're learning
Since
so
these are
many
so
things.
gentle
So
on your
much.
stomach.
Yeah.
So many things. Okay, so we have the liposomal delivery system. And tell us, how does that break down? So what kind of resources do we have in that? What are our options in supplementation?
So many options.
Oh my goodness.
So I know one of my favorites, but I know it's inside of something that we're going to talk about later, so I'm not going to say it yet. That has a fun name, but there's something called Bitter X. So
So
what's that?
Bitter X, it helps with your bile flow. Sounds great, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to
just
help
great.
with filtration and everything. Quicksilver is really based around detoxing.
Yeah.
That is so whenever you look at it, no matter what it says, it's always based around detoxing. So with we are exposed to toxins every single day. If you drink out of a plastic water bottle, you are exposed to microplastics, which are toxins. Pollution,
Mold, metals.
all of the things.
medications.
So they're all going to help detox your body and help your body function the way it needs to. So Bitter X is actually best for females, typically. So it's going to help with that bile flow. If you have a gallbladder or if you don't have a gallbladder, it's going to help pass through that sludge.
She's saying, hi, it's me. I don't have a gallbladder.
It's me. I've been missing one for a while. So because I don't have a gallbladder, before I actually eat a meal, I need to take the Bitter X to ensure that I don't get sludgy and that it helps with that bioflow to help and aid in my digestion.
The wellness is such a fun topic because it's so not glamorous. Honestly, it's really gross when you start talking about like your sludge inside of you and like all of these things. But it's glamorous on the other side of it. Once you get through it, this is like the dirty work. This is the prep work to live a better life.
Absolutely.
On the other side of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's fun. What are other options? What else we got going on?
So one of my favorite things I would say is NAD.
Okay.
So NAD is fantastic. It's the gold standard in regenerative medicine. So
it's a hot topic right now. That is a key word. Yeah.
Again, but something that we can provide that is amazing for everyone. So, I mean, you'll hear it called the fountain of youth, things like that. But it truly is. This molecule is amazing because it works in the mitochondria of the cell, the center of the cell, the powerhouse of the cell, to repair DNA, right? So as we age, our DNA becomes broken down. That shows on our skin, wrinkles on our skin, things like that. Sagging, I mean, just to relate it, back to aesthetics, those are things that real people see when they look in the mirror, right? But things that we love through this NAD that can help us, again, repair on the inside, resonates on the outside. So that's one of my favorite things is the NAD that I will probably, say, hey, everyone needs this.
I know why it's your favorite. I absolutely know why it's your favorite. Because every single day you are working with these beautiful faces, building collagen and elastin. Yes. And that's the missing piece. That is the thing that is not something topical. Nope. Mm-hmm. It is something that truly is starting internally for that external beauty, and it pulls all these pieces together. So you're not, again, going back to Sculptra and going back to like Juvederm and Restylane, you're not just fixing the outside, but you're enhancing those results for your patients and helping them to live better by going all the way down to that cellular level. So you're using these biostimulators in the surface level in that like epidermal dermal layer, but then you're also going all the way down into those like deepest internal cells to help repair those as well.
Right, because we repair those cells, then your results are going to be better. If you think about it, we're creating collagen and elastin within the cell. Well, if the cell is healthier, then our results are going to come faster and we're going to look better. We're going to feel better. I mean, NAD is also great for mental health. That just ties in with all of it also. It's really
the clarity, the energy. I mean, it's
all the things.
We could have a whole podcast on that.
On just NAD. That alone.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, all right, coming back. We'll come back for part 2 just on that.
Each one. We'll do a podcast on each one that we love. Yeah.
Yes. And a crowd favorite in our office. Anytime that we talk about it with one of our patients, they jump all over it. If we post about it online, people are like, hold up, I need to know more. Give me more. People cannot get enough of this. Is this lovely push-catch system?
Oh, yes.
So let's break it down. Let's break it down. What is the push-catch system and why do we need it?
So the push-catch is a detox. And so the thing is that phase 1 and phase 2. So phase 1 is activate, phase 2 is conjugate, and then phase 3, which not many people know about, is filtrate and excretion. So phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. When you do a regular detox, whether it's a cleanse or a detox, if you're doing a juice cleanse or any other detox, you are pushing the toxins out. Mm-hmm. And they're just kind of floating around.
Recirculating.
Yes. If you do not do phase 3, which is going to be the filtrate and excretion, those toxins are going to recirculate. And then you're going to feel great while you're starting to release those. But as they're recirculating, you're going to feel just like you did before.
So they're just reabsorbing, basically.
Mm-hmm. So this is where the push and catch system comes in. So in the very basic push catch that we have right there, you have liver sauce.
Okay, I know there has to be a story behind the name of this.
Yeah.
Because that's gross.
It is gross.
It's gross.
That sounds gross. And honestly, when I think about it, I think of like artificial like flavoring and like livers of animals that are used to make like raspberry flavoring. Just the grossest of grossness. And I know that cannot be this liver sauce. So what is the story behind liver sauce and why is it called that?
So think of liver sauce like A1.
Okay.
Okay. So you're your liver is a steak.
Okay.
If you are eating a filet that is cooked perfectly at an amazing steakhouse, number one, they don't carry A1. But number two, you're not going to put A1 on top of a perfectly beautiful piece of filet. However, if you go somewhere else and the steak might be a little chewy, it's maybe not cooked right, what are you going to do? You're going to put A1 on top of it to make it better. Don't get me wrong, I love A1, but I'm not going to put it on a really good piece of steak. No. So now that we've compared your liver to a piece of steak, if your liver isn't healthy, whether it has cirrhosis or fatty liver, anything like that, you have to put your A1 on it. You have to put the liver sauce on it so that you can detox your liver and get it healthy again.
Okay, so is this like the hack for all of those 20-somethings, 30-somethings that are just trying to survive on a Monday morning?
All of the 20-somethings, all of the 30-somethings, all of the people.
Anybody.
Anyone, yeah. So this is a great hack for anyone, really. But everyone should do a liver detox because you are around toxins all the time that aren't helping your liver.
We are surrounded by toxins.
Yes.
You can't avoid them. You just have to figure out how to live through them, basically.
Yes.
Like how to filter them through and make yourself as healthy as possible, which is our goal.
And that's what liver sauce is going to do, is it's going to help filter it through. And it has it doesn't have bitter X specifically in the liver sauce, but it does help with the bile flow. So that's also going to help with the bile flow. So now that we've done phase 1 and phase 2 with the liver sauce, we have to bind it and excrete it. And we do that with Ultra Binder.
Okay.
So Ultra Binder is kind of like, it has a charcoal base. Mm-hmm. And so it's going to grab onto those toxins, absorb them, and then you're going to release them through your body.
I've done this before. I remember this. I did the push catch system before I got pregnant, and then I had to stop. I think I gave it to you, Alicia, didn't I?
You gave it all to me.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I think I did it twice, and it legitimately tasted like charcoal.
Yes. So the great thing is it
wasn't that bad, actually.
Yeah.
It made that sound like it was really bad. It's really not. I think charcoal toothpaste is worse.
You can look at the capsules and it's what it looks like.
So they have, they have a powder or they have it in capsules. So ideally the powder is best, especially for your first push catch system. Yeah. The powder is going to be ideal. However, for just everyday binding those toxins and releasing them, the Ultra Binder oral supplement is really good. If you have had a great night out, taking some Ultra Binder before you go to bed, you'll wake up feeling great.
Okay, so clinical pearl that we can talk about because yes, we learned that also. So here it is, people. You want to feel better the next day. Have yourself a little pack of the Ultra Binder, which also has some magnesium in it before you go to bed. Mm-hmm. And then we can also talk about like the quintessentials, which we can rope in here also.
That's a perfect hack. So basically though, I want to take my comment back out. Liver sauce is not the hack.
Correct. It's the binder.
It's the binder.
Yeah. It's going to bind all of the toxins that you just put into your body and remove them.
That's what everybody needs for like New Year's.
That's what you need for New Year's.
New Year's Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hand them out to
and probably
put them in
January
stockings.
2nd as well.
And additionally, so the quintessential trace minerals. So there's two different formulations. So there's 3.3 and then there's the 0.9. Mm-hmm. 0.9 is actually specific to detoxing. So if you are looking to detox, you should always do the 0.9. And then when you're looking at truly getting in more hydration and things like that, that's when you want to do the 3.3. So there is a difference to both of them.
I've always wondered that. I just call it my mermaid shot, to be honest, because it just tastes like salt water. Mm-hmm. And to me, I just embrace it and I feel like I'm at the beach and it's great.
Yes.
But okay, so the 0.9 is for detox specifically.
Yep.
3.3 is it 3.3?
3.3. Yeah.
3.3 is for hydration.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
And really, we're getting into the colder weather. So 3.3 is also great for your skin. So if you are experiencing dehydrated skin because we have the heat on and just the change in temperatures, 3.3 trace minerals every single day, that's going to help hydrate your skin, disperse the hydration where you need it, and help you externally as well.
Yeah. If there's one thing that our BSA fam can get from this entire talk, it is that you have to focus on that internal approach if you want that external beauty. Like, we're
Absolutely.
just going to keep coming back to that internal approach to external beauty. Nail it in your mind, memorize it, friends, because that is the goal. You have to focus on the inside or the outside. You're just going to be chasing your tail. It's not going to ever be at its maximum potential if you're not paying attention to the inside as well.
So one thing, we've talked about toxins and being exposed to toxins and everything like that. So just 7 signs of a high toxic burden could be these symptoms, right? So excessive fatigue, poor sleep, GI symptoms such as bloating and gas, food and skin sensitivity. So how many times do we hear, I have sensitive skin, or I can't do that because I have sensitive skin?
Yeah.
Hypersensitive to smells such as perfumes, candles, cleaning products, brain fog and concentration issues, and then mood swings and irritability. So, hey, I'm all 7.
Hello. I mean,
I'm pregnant, so
but so
all of those, but not related.
but so with this, I feel like almost anybody can at least check one of those boxes.
Yeah.
This is why we need to detox every single day. So whether it's with the Ultra Binder to catch those toxins, whether if it's with glutathione, which is an oral antioxidant, but it also helps you detox and helps you metabolize things the right way.
Yeah.
It's all related back to, if you're feeling this way, let's look at how we can help you internally detox.
Yeah. And
Okay, we've used the word detox a lot, and I feel like it somewhat has a negative stigma behind it because everybody's gotten behind this, like, I want to detox, aka I want to lose 10 pounds in the next 24 hours type thing. So can you tell us a little bit more about what, really break down, this is a good detox. This isn't a weight loss hack necessarily. It can help with that. It can absolutely aid in getting your body healthy, which helps with then that weight loss if that's your ultimate goal. But this is not a quick fix weight loss crash diet necessarily.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
This isn't a diet detox. This is a health detox.
Yes.
So we've really broken down what the process of a detox looks like, but what is that overall vision of what a detox is?
So I can start, yeah.
Yeah.
Our bodies are set up as very highly functional detoxification systems. That's what our bodies do. Toxins all around, toxins inside, outside. Our bodies detox them so we can stay alive, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to live. It just wouldn't happen. We'd be dead, for real. So we want to think about...
DED.
Yeah,
DED dead.
DED dead. We want to think about as toxins come into our bodies, how can we more efficiently get rid of them, right? So our liver, our kidneys, and our lungs are the 3 main ways that we detox, and also you said through the skin.
Yeah.
So just thinking about employing countermeasures. That's what these are. They're countermeasures. So these things are going to happen. What can we do to counteract the bad things that are happening? Because we cannot control all the things that we breathe and that we eat. We can say, I'm going to eat clean or do Whole30. That's another really popular detox system. And that's great, but you don't know how those foods are processed. You don't know what kinds of things that they're using, even if you go to buy them and they say that, they're organic. You really just don't know, right?
That's a huge point.
Okay, I want to say something really quick because when this was said, Alicia and I both looked at each other and we were like, oh my gosh. Okay, so there was a train that was derailed a couple years ago, right? And so it caught on fire.
Last year.
Was that when it was?
Are you talking about in Ohio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
East Palestine, Ohio.
So yes, so it caught on fire, right? So it was carrying a bunch of chemicals. Well, it all blew up to Vermont. Okay, so all of
Calgary in Canada,
and in Canada, so
Canada.
over all of New England, right? And so
the smokes did. The smokes
yes,
went up
so
there.
they all went that way.
Almost like wildfire smokes. How
Yes.
wildfire smokes travel, but these were the toxins from this was the toxic chemicals of the explosion. Okay.
And then it all goes up there, and then they had all of those wildfires after that.
Yeah.
Then all of that smoke from the wildfires came back to Ohio.
Do you remember?
I totally remember
Yeah.
because it was smoggy,
Smoggy.
basically.
Yes,
In Ohio.
and it didn't
Yeah.
smell like smoke. It smelled like plastic.
Yeah.
because it was all being recycled. So if you think about as you are detoxing, that's kind of what you do when you're detoxing your body, right? If you're not doing it properly or like binding it and catching it and getting rid of it, it's just going to continue to filter back. Then think about where maple syrup comes from. It typically comes from New England. So you don't want to
Canada.
have
Like that whole
you don't want to have
region
maple
there.
syrup right now because it's going to have those toxins in it from what originated from that trail derailment.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, right? So when we were there, he's like, well, make sure you're checking where you get your maple syrup from. And I'm like, nobody's checking where they get their maple syrup
No.
from. But I'm going to.
No, check your maple syrup and check your supplements. You
Yes.
need to know where everything is sourcing from.
That's the same thing.
Exactly. So it's, you know,
Oh
if
my
you think like,
gosh.
oh, this was from Vermont, sounds great.
Yeah.
Not
So
so
you
much.
now know where it came from, but then it now has those chemicals that it has absorbed. Sorry, I interrupted you, but I was like,
No,
wait,
no,
this
But
is,
that's not
yeah.
even talking about the water sourcing. So like when you talk about like
Correct.
all of the chemicals everywhere and the reason for detoxing, like that's something that is very close to home for us, but also you don't think about that necessarily. Like, I mean, when's the last time we all thought about that train derailment? Unless you live in that town, we've all forgotten about it, which
Yeah.
is sad to begin with because
Absolutely.
it's so devastating. But it had such monumental impacts on our health too. I
Yes.
mean, nationwide, that has an impact on our health. That is insane to me.
Yes.
Check your
thought
maple
so.
syrup.
Check your maple
people.
syrup.
Man,
Just
oh
the
my
little things
gosh.
that we don't think about every day. Like
No.
with all the things that we want to detox
So
with.
crazy.
Or she was mentioning juicing. That's not a bad thing. So if you want to juice, you can. You can still do that.
Yeah.
But add some ultra binder in there because there's nothing to
Yeah.
bind that. It's going to recirculate. And then you're going to have, a lot of time spent on the toilet with
Yep.
that, which is fine.
Yeah.
But you need that extra component to make it effective.
If you go to
Yeah.
a sauna and you're detoxing and you're sweating it out,
Yeah.
ultra binder.
Ultra binder.
Okay, so we really just need to be looking at this as two separate things. This is not a like crash diet detox.
Not at all.
If you like those,
There are things you can add.
bless
Yeah.
you.
For everyone.
We'll
Yep.
help you through it. And
We
if
are here for
not,
you.
Yeah.
Like this is separate. So mentally, you can separate those two things, but they also do not have to be mutually exclusive. You can use those together at the same time. This is really about the individual person figuring out what works for them and doing their very best with the knowledge that they have. And that is something that we are so passionate about, making sure that our friends and family at Beyond Skin Aesthetics know these things and that we're passing on the knowledge of checking your maple syrup and checking
Yes.
your supplements.
Yes.
Checking your sourcing for everything. Just put your best foot forward in life.
We want that overall wellness for you because when
Yeah.
when you do feel better inside, it shows on the outside.
It absolutely does.
People notice it.
Yeah, people do. Okay, I've got two last questions for you guys. So we're going to do one and we'll just kind of bounce around and then we'll do our final question.
Okay.
Which you might know is coming if you listen to the podcast. Katie's already had this question before, but we'll start here. What are your wellness quick, fast tips that like you live by every single day? Like what's your core wellness things? Either one of you can start, whoever wants to.
I can start.
Yeah, you
For
go.
me, this is an easy question, but the one that I also love is just incorporating exercise or moving your body and creating a plan for it. So creating it into your day. So I know sometimes we'll wake up and we'll be like, I know I need to work out today, but you didn't put it as a plan in your day. And it may get lost along the way because things happen, right? But if you plan something, schedule a class, bring your clothes with you to work so you have them, you can stop at the gym or whatever you like to do on the way back, then it's a part of your plan for the day. So for me, that's just essentially important to me feeling great. Yeah.
Add it to your calendar.
Yeah.
Have it in your
Put it
plan.
in your phone, anything. Yeah.
Yes. We live by calendars. We live by that time blocking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when you block a time and you didn't put exactly what then that becomes problematic.
Who does that? I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows?
Who's ever done that before, Katie, last week? All right, Katie, what you got? What's your wellness tip?
So my wellness tip is go outside.
Yep.
You have to go outside at least once a day. I don't care if it's for 5 minutes. I don't care if it's all day long. You know, there are places in Canada where they have daycares have their toddlers sleeping outside because
Yeah.
it truly makes everything better. So there have been many times where Delaney and I have been traveling and we've been in conferences all day and I'm like, I don't care, I just have to go outside.
This lady, oh my gosh, Dallas, Texas, 109 heat. And she felt like it was a breath of fresh, cool air walking outside, but she just needed that fresh air.
Yeah.
And the light was not enough. I mean, that fresh sunlight is one thing, like the unfiltered sunlight is one thing. As much as we are, like, we preach our SPF and that protection,
Yes.
you have to have both sides of it. Like, you still need that natural daylight for your circadian rhythm, for all the other health benefits. It's just about doing it in a safe way. And that is something that I learned with you. We found basically like the equivalent of like a green room or like a greenhouse. And
Yes.
it wasn't fresh air. It was still the recycled air inside. And we had to go outside in the 109 heat. And that's okay. It brought life right back to you.
It did.
You lived to tell the tale.
There's a reason why I drive with my sunroof open unless if it's raining because
Yeah.
I need that air to come.
Even in like 20-degree weather.
Absolutely.
Like,
Heat on 90.
full blast.
Yep.
Full blast. That is absolutely 1,000,000%. And if you've ever taken a nap outside, it really is like the best nap of your entire life.
Yes.
I had one of those in the Smoky Mountains last weekend before. 3-hour nap outside. We had the OSU game playing on the side of the RV, and I just passed out for 3 hours, and it was the best 3 hours of my life. I swear, it was the best. I was like comatose basically in it. I would say for me, it's really like a good morning routine and night routine, and having that. I talk about time blocking. I talk about like having my schedule and everything. I don't even necessarily have to have the time. I just know that like first thing in the morning, I have my routine all set. I don't have to think about it, but it makes me feel better. I feel like I started my day off right, whether that's starting off like when I first wake up, I always wash my face, put my skincare routine on. Then I go and I do my supplements. I have my electrolyte drink so that I get rehydrated for the day. And then I go back and I finish putting on like my SPF makeup routine and I head out the door. Like it's like clockwork. I know exactly how long it's going to take. It sets me off on the right foot. And then at night, I unwind the same way too, which for me is almost like a mental wind down so that I know it's time for bed. It's kind of the same thing that you want to do for your kids, right? Like you want them to be in a routine so they know it's time to sleep.
Absolutely.
I do that to myself. It helps get me into that circadian rhythm flow of things. So even if I've knocked off my circadian rhythm during the day, that's how I kind of jump
Get
back
back.
on track with it.
Yeah.
And I just bought a hatch. Kim Poor had a hatch and she was not a fan,
Yeah.
but I just got one. I'm going to give it a try. I feel like it's going to be my thing. I don't think she likes being told what to do that much. I think that's her problem, I believe. Mm-hmm. Even though it's like a slow flow, like
Let us know. 'Cause I
Yeah.
really
she's
want
in
one.
charge herself, whereas like I want somebody to tell me what to do. I want that light to flip on and give me a full hour to wake up. Like I thrive on that.
Yeah.
I need it.
Huh.
Yeah, anyways.
Yeah. Keep us updated.
We had 3 completely different answers for that. So I hope that our friends at home got a little something out of that.
Yeah.
Or it inspired them to jump back on track if they got off of that. Because those are very basic things, but very useful. Like apply them to your life.
Yes.
Okay, and my question for all of my guests, Katie, I can't decide if we want you to go first or not.
I have something all typed out now.
You do? I don't. Mine's very simple.
I'll let Alicia decide if she wants to go first or last since you've already been hit once before. But my question for all of my guests, because it is the Bright Side of Beauty podcast, is what is beautiful to you? And this can be in any sense of the word. What is beautiful to you?
All right. So I'm going to go.
All right, you're just
I have-
telling
Do it,
Alicia
girl.
that you're going.
I have a whole paragraph.
Okay.
Okay.
Hit us with it.
So beauty to me is the radiance of happiness.
That was mine.
You stole it. Did you look off of her laptop?
No, I can't see that far.
It's okay because that's
Okay.
beautiful. Keep going.
Make us cry.
so
Wait,
it's
start
just-
over. Give us the first line
Well,
again.
no, because now
You gotta
I'm going to
flow.
start crying. I'm not going to cry this time. Okay, so beauty to me is the radiance of happiness. It's the sparkle in someone's eyes, the warmth of a genuine smile, and the joy that overflows in every action. True beauty isn't skin deep. It's the beauty of a heart filled with love, a mind filled with peace, and a soul filled with light. It's the beauty of living life to the fullest and finding joy in the simple things.
Okay,
That
well,
is so good. Did you write that without Jemmy? Is that just from your heart?
come on now.
For Gemini, if anybody doesn't know at home. That was so good. And I immediately thought of people as you were reading that. Like that
Yeah.
described people in my life. Oh my gosh. Friends at home, I hope that you had people too.
Yes.
Matter of fact, we'll go back to that in a second. Okay, Alicia, hit us with yours.
I mean, mine was the same thing, but I didn't write a paragraph. I didn't know what the question would be, which I kind of love because this is my first time on the
I
podcast.
threw you into it.
So she threw me into it, which, hey, I'm all for it. But I literally, it's one sentence, happiness is beautiful to me. So I think just feeling happy and all those things resonate to a happy heart, and then what you feel you're going to project onto others and your relationships and how you interact with others. For me, it's just I want to treat people well and have them say, you know what, I just love being around her. Like, she just has a great vibe, or she just makes me feel good. People that come into our office, I'll run up to them. I'll be like, hello, Princess Pookie Cupcake, and give hugs. Like, that's me. That's what beauty is to me. Just being kind of like that with others. So
I love that. Oh my gosh.
So has anyone asked you this question?
No, and I did not come prepared for this whatsoever.
Well, that's fine.
I just kind of bask in everybody else's answers with that. But with with both of your answers, because they do tie so closely together, I would love to do like a little, giveaway per se, I guess. Oh my gosh, what should we... I know what they have to do for it, but what should we throw in there?
I think we should do a
one-on-one hour consultation going through
their and then we
their
can
routine and setting them up with something.
Gosh. Absolutely.
Okay, I love that. So anybody that answers this question, we're just going to throw it as anybody that answers this question, you will get. Do we need an hour or 30 minutes? What's a good time breakdown?
I like an hour. We might not take an hour, but then if we only allot 30 minutes and then we run over, then...
Okay, so an hour so that we can have as much soul-to-soul talking as we need for that. So an hour with one of the girls, breaking down your routine and what your goals are, and then setting a new plan. And what you have to do for that is put who you thought of and tag them in the comments of one of these post highlights talking about the podcast.
Amazing.
So tag anybody that you thought of as Katie was reading that description and as Alicia was talking that brings that happiness out of you and that you just love so much and just emulates that to a T. Tag them in the comments and we will send you a message to get scheduled for a 1 hour consultation to go over your regimen. And we'll all work together. Yeah. You'll get a 1 hour little yap sesh.
And we'll all get some liver sauce.
Liver sauce.
We're all getting liver sauce, and we're all checking our maple syrup.
Yes.
That's the moral of all of this. Amazing. Okay, friends. Well, get your submissions in for that. Tag your loved ones. That was the best ending. Oh my gosh, I love that you guys were on the same page too.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just so in sync. But yes, get those submissions in, and we would love to talk to you more about all of these options. We have a fantastic wellness part of our business. So we are actually Beyond Skin Aesthetics and Wellness, and it is never ending. So we have options for medical weight loss, for functional medicine, a hybrid of the two together. Really, everything. I didn't even break it down.
We really put wellness into everything that we do.
Yeah.
So even if you don't come in specifically for wellness, we're going to talk about wellness.
Yep. Absolutely. We're going to talk about it. Yeah. We have resources available on our website, beyondskinAesthetics.com. There's a little shop tab, or you can just type in shop beyondskinAesthetics.com, our Instagram store, our Facebook store, our YouTube store. We have it everywhere. So if you need the resources, we've got you.
Yes.
We can walk you through what you need. Send us a DM, get scheduled for consultation. And again, get submitted for that hour-long consultation with us. We'll go through everything that you need. And we'll see you next time on the Bright Side of Beauty podcast. Have a great day, guys.